to the Gold of Ancestors exhibition on the fourth floor of the Ayala Museum. I am Florina Capistrano-Baker, the curator of the exhibition. This exhibit features over 1,000 gold objects dated circa 10th to 13th centuries, originally collected by the late national artist for architecture Leandro Locsin and his archaeologist wife Cecilia Locsin.
The archaeologist and art historian Dr. John Miksic describes his collection as perhaps the country's greatest tangible heritage that can stand comparison with other gold collections in the world. The exhibition celebrates the sophisticated cultures that flourished in the Philippines before Spanish colonization in the 16th century. Some forms recall those from other Southeast Asian cultures, affirming regional affinities and inter-island engagements that flourished before sustained contact with the Western world. As you enter the galleries, turn right to the section called Austronesian Migrations. In this section, we have several examples of omega-shaped ornaments or penannulars, popularly called ling-ling-o by archaeologists. Similarities in language and visual culture among Austronesian-speaking peoples in Southeast Asia support the notion of shared origins in prehistory. Among the most widespread themes is the omega-shaped ornament known as mamuli in parts of Indonesia and ling-ling-o in the northern Philippines. Archaeological research indicates that early versions of the ling-ling-o were produced in Batanes as early as 2,500 years ago, using imported jade from Taiwan. The examples in the exhibition are of hammered gold and were recovered from various parts of the archipelago. Connections to neighboring Southeast Asian cultures are evident as well in distinctive objects such as modesty covers and finger rings adorned with motifs associated with the Hindu gods Vishnu, such as the conch shell, and Shiva, such as the bull's horns. As we proceed to the opposite side, we see gold chains and waist sashes, along with images of contemporaneous gold works from other parts of the world. Leaders of early Philippine societies ruled through merit and consensus earned through bravery in battle, wisdom, and wealth. These leaders, with the honorary title of Datu, wore fine garments and dazzling gold regalia to affirm authority and prestige. In this gallery are several ornaments and ritual vessels used by the pre-colonial Datu.
The most spectacular of these gold accoutrements is this torso ornament. It is a torso ornament meant to go across one shoulder, across the body, and originally it had a red cabochon finial that is now missing. One side has a slit, perhaps to accommodate a dagger or a weapon.
This massive gold chain is arguably the most spectacular object from the treasure trove known as the Surigao treasure, accidentally recovered in 1981. It weighs almost 4 kilograms and consists of an inner loop-in-loop chain with an outer skin of segmented tubular beads on 4 sides, thus forming a squared profile. It is the only known example of its kind and weighs more than the entire gold find of over 1,000 gold objects from the 7th century site of Ok Eo in present-day Vietnam.
One of the most important manuscripts that give us an idea of how these ornaments were worn is the manuscript called the Boxer Codex, which scholars date to 1590, or more recent scholarship suggests 1595. And in this manuscript, you have images, watercolor images that we have enlarged in the walls of this alcove to show you how the pre-colonial inhabitants that were encountered by the Spaniards at the time of early contact wore their garments of lustrous, sumptuous silk and ornaments of gold.
There is a 300-year gap between the approximate date of the gold works in this exhibition and the 16th century accounts, such as the Boxer Codex, but Antonio of Pigafetta's descriptions of gold jewelry encountered upon Magellan's arrival in 1521 make it clear that such adornments were still in use during the early contact period. The Jesuit missionary Father Ignacio Alsina provides detailed descriptions of traditional jewelry still in use in the late 17th century. Both men and women had pierced ears to accommodate a variety of ornaments. Men had 1 or 2 holes per lobe, while women had 3 or 4. The larger earrings were usually worn on the lowest hole, such as this pamarang, decorated with extremely fine granulation, which you can appreciate better using the magnifying glass built into the exhibition drawers. The larger ornaments were only worn by men. In contrast, only women wore jewelry with floral motifs. A specific type of earring embellished with floral-shaped spangles called kayong-kayong occurs only in the Visayas, suggesting specific cultural preferences in different regions. The swaying motion of these glistening spangles was part of their attraction. In this fabulous alcove just off the journey to the afterlife are several anthropomorphic figures that bear witness to our Hindu-Buddhist substratum, our pre-colonial past that has been blurred through time. Gold works portraying Hindu-Buddhist forms recovered across the archipelago before the arrival of Islam and Christianity in the 14th to 16th centuries include this exquisite gold vessel in the shape of a kinari, half woman and half bird. The kinari personifies the feminine ideal of beauty, grace, and accomplishment. The textured feather patterns on her wings and tail contrast with the smoothness of her skin. These 2 gold plaques portray a female image with upraised hands, wearing an elaborate headdress with a tree of life motif framed by flame-like appendages and multiple layers of neck ornaments. There are intriguing similarities to Tamil representations of the Hindu goddess Kali, who is usually represented with a flame-like halo around the head, though further research is needed to illuminate this possible connection. This extraordinary gold sheath in the form of a male figure probably covered a solid core to which it was secured through perforations along the slit in the back. His arms are bent at the elbows and gesture upward to his chest. 16th century accounts describe pre-Christian figures called tao-tao, likha, or larawan that were kept in houses to protect the residents within. This intriguing set of gold sheets depicts a 2-wheeled chariot with a large human face on top and a smaller full figure near the base. The gold icon appears to be related to the Hindu sun god Surya, who is often portrayed riding a chariot along with his charioteer. There's a similar icon in the collection of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Miniature versions of monumental architecture such as stupas and temples are not uncommon among Hindu-Buddhist cultures. There are possible connections to the spectacular chariot-shaped temple to the sun god Surya at Konark, a prominent landmark of the ancient Kalinga Empire on the east coast of India. Kalinga played such a prominent role in the maritime trade with Southeast Asia that the Bay of Bengal was once called the Kalinga Sea. Scholars have traced archaeological evidence of Kalinga's presence in Malaysia, Sumatra, Java, and Bali. Ancient connections to pre-colonial Philippine cultures merits further study. In 1981, the Locsin Foundation sponsored an archaeological project in Agusan del Norte in Mindanao, led by supervising archaeologist Dr. Warren Peterson. 6 burials were recovered under controlled conditions in Masago, Butuan. Chinese export ceramics found in association with the gold objects and radiocarbon dating of charcoal samples from 2 graves indicate approximate dates between the 10th to 13th century, hence the tentative dating of the gold objects in this exhibition. After death, Spiritual forces were believed to travel in and out of the body through the fontanel or openings such as the eyes, nose, and mouth, which were protected by gold covers to prevent malignant spirits from taking over the body. Large face masks of hammered gold were embellished with diadems marking one's elite status. These accoutrements of power and wealth ensured a cordial welcome to the afterlife. Thus, gold, the eternal metal, played an important role in the lives of our ancestors, beginning at birth and ending upon death. I hope you enjoyed this short introduction to the exhibition entitled Gold of Ancestors, Pre-colonial Treasures in the Philippines. There is more to see and learn in person, and we hope that you and your family and your friends will visit the Ayala Museum often. We as a people have much to be proud of as we recover rare fragments of ancient splendors and reinsert in our collective memory these extraordinary treasures from our half-forgotten pre-colonial past.